Okay, just wanted to practice showing how to use this device to help modeling solving a math problem. This may be something that you might want to do instead of something like a Khan Academy video, specifically if you do want to teach it differently based on your students' needs, based on the type of academic vocabulary you've been using in your classroom, or just your approach is different from the videos that you're seeing there. So this might be a handy tool for you. So let's show you an example. Let's say I'm doing in 5th grade multiplying, no, let's do dividing. Let's do dividing fractions by a whole number. So let's take something like 3 divided by 1/4, something simple like that, something that's simple and easy to visualize. So what we're really saying when we're saying 3 divided by 1/4, we're saying how many of these 1/4 are there in 3? That's really what we're asking. So we want to know how many of those 1/4 are in 3. And you can ask students to pause at this time and ask them just with that question, how many 1/4 do you think are in 3? Have them pause the video and come up with their own conjecture. Then restart the video and then ask them, how could we draw to figure this out? So one way to draw that would be using the number line. So I'm going to just make a simple number line, just with my finger. And if I want to know how many 1/4 are in 3, I'm going to make my number line the distance of 3 units. So let's do that. And I'm going to go ahead and break my 3 units into 3 equal pieces, each being 1 whole. 1, 2, 3. How many 1/4 are in 3? Well, the first thing I would need to do is figure out how many 1/4 are in each one. So let's break each one into fourths. Okay, now they're all into fourths. And so how many do I have all together to make my total of 3? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we can see visually that if I were to ask how many 1/4 are in 3, my answer would be 12. Now my quotient's 12, and without this visual it's really hard to understand what that 12 means. But now we can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 1/4 in 3. And by saying we have 12 1/4 in 3, I've just given the fact family of that 12 equal groups of 1/4 will result in a total of 3 wholes, or 3 wholes, 3 equal groups of 1. Now, is it also true to do, is 1/4 of 12 also 3? If we were to say 1/4 of 12, does it also get me 3? And more importantly, does it mean the same thing? So let's look at that. I'm going to make another screen here. Oops, we don't want that one, so I'm going to delete that. Okay, so what we're going to say again, let's go back. Yeah, 1/4 of 12. What would that look like? So 1/4 of 12. Will that also get me this 3 here? Is that what I'm going to get? Let's find out. So I can also use the number line for that. And now, but I want to find 1/4 of 12. So already this visual is going to look very different, even though this number right here may be the same number as my quotient. And that's important for students to understand as they're getting number sense with working with fractions. So now let's build a number line. Now I want to find 1/4 equal groups of 12. I need to actually make my number line a total of 12. So let's do that. 12 equal whole units. And well, then what would 1/4 of 12 be? So if I take the 12 and I break it into 4 equal pieces, what is that 1/4? Is it 3? You can then stop the video here and you could ask students, is that piece of the 12 3? Does it have to be 3? How could you figure it out? You could ask them to stop the video, think about it, ask their parents, do some sketching to figure it out, and then when you have them restart the video, you could then carry it through and say, well, if we know that all of these pieces, this one, this one, this one, and this one are equal in size, and this one's 3, what do we know about the other pieces? Well, they have to be equal to that as well, which means they also have to be 3. And if that's true, is 1/4 of 12 3? Well, we know that that makes 6, and that makes 9, and together that makes 12. So yeah, each 1/4 of 12 would be 3. So that's true. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video there. Again, this was just kind of a practice, just to kind of show you how you could talk through a concept with your students and draw along at the same time to illustrate your thoughts. And this may be helpful for you. You can then load this into your Google Drive, share it onto your Google Classroom. You could email it to your parents, and we'll talk more about that as well. All right.